Welcome back to Hades. We're going to continue with my plan, which was to only record the important bits of story dialogues, and I'm going to edit out all the fighting, failing. So we just have a few quick story beat videos so we can get on with the story because you don't need to see me go through all the same rooms, fight all the same bosses again and again and again. So let's get on with it.
All right, this is it.
This cold, white substance falling slowly from the heavens. Snow, they call it. Look carefully upon each fleck. Tiny crystals, but structurally weak. They melt. This surface realm, it is held up by mine.
If you're quite finished teaching me about this snow phenomenon, can we get on with brutally trying to kill each other here?
You wish to have your mortal-colored blood spill once again upon this bed of snow, then fine. Let us proceed. You cannot escape. None of us can. Are you yet satisfied?
Yes. So bright. That's a bite. Is this a trout?
Welcome back, my son.
It's me.
So good to see you again, Zagreus. Since last you left, I couldn't help but think the worst about what happened after I had left. Or soon before. You mentioned Nyx. You don't suppose that she and Hades wanted me out of the way?
I just don't think that can be. Though let me ask you, how long did you know Father? And Nyx for that matter. Did they seem trustworthy?
Yes. I knew them long enough to have decided yes, that they were trustworthy. As much as anyone I've ever met. But I also know never to be trusting to a fault. I have to consider the possibility I was deceived.
Especially since neither of them is being forthcoming with me even now, right? And yet, I have this feeling something else is going on, Mother. The way that Father speaks of you, the way Nyx speaks of you, I think they care for you.
Well, they have a funny way of showing it, I think. Your father, so you have to get through him each time you visit me?
I do. Mother, what if Father thinks that he's protecting you? Have you considered that?
Protecting me? Why, Zagreus, what do you mean by that? As you can see, I can fend for myself.
Well, you're from Olympus, aren't you? But the gods, none of them seem to know you're here. So,
What? How would you know something like that? Zagreus? Ah, curse the fates. You're leaving me again.
I won't be long. Hold that thought, Mother.
I told you, boy. I told you. There's no escape from here. Learn that the hard way, then.
You could have told me more important things. Mother left because she never even knew I was alive, thanks to you. She's got a lot of questions herself, as you can probably imagine. I'm headed back to her. You going to cooperate?
Nonsense. Listen to me. If you have any sense remaining in that head of yours, I caution you not to discuss this here and now.
Let me go. Let me find her. She demands it.
No, I'll hear no demands from you. See to ask too many questions, boy. Would that you had a tendency to wonder silently instead.
Been waiting long?
Ah, but there you are, boy, finally. Despite my knowing you are always late for everything, here you've outdone yourself by quite some time.
Oh, shut up and get your fork. Burn away that regal cape and let's get to this then. I'd no idea you had all these capes to spare. Must have a whole entire storage chamber full of them.
Your mockery of me may temporarily embolden you, but achieves nothing useful in the end. No matter how many times you beat me, we're family. There's no escaping that. Blast.
See you at home.
Zagreus?
I'm back, Mother.
Son, I have to ask you, how much do you know about your relatives upon Olympus?
A little. I've been in contact with Athena, Zeus, and other members of the family ever since I first left Father's house. They've been assisting me in getting here.
No. Zagreus, what have you done? You've let them here?
No, they think I'm trying to escape from Father so that I can join them on their mountaintop. At least I think that's what they think. Most of them, anyway.
But then, does Hades know of this? That Olympus is involved?
He does. Both he and Nyx. In fact, it's Nyx who put me and Olympus into contact. I could never have broken free of the underworld if not for their help.
So Nyx and Hades are against each other then? And Olympus is helping you? But they don't know I'm here as far as you're aware.
That's right, more or less. Nyx and Father seem to put up with each other. Don't seem to have much of a choice. Though ever since I learned of you, Nyx has been helping me to find you, while Father's tried to stop me.
That fool. What was he thinking? What is he thinking? Do you suppose he thinks that he's protecting me from them? Oh no.
I think maybe he does think so indeed. Because now having met my relatives upon Olympus, I can definitely see that they can be a bit vindictive about things.
Vindictiveness runs in the family, my son. Then if Olympus is involved, that would explain a lot. I'm here, not there with them, as you can see. But, oh, it seems we'll have to speak some more when next you return.
When I return. Well, this is going to be awkward.
I was a fool, you see. The gods promised me eternal glory beyond death. I could have stayed out of the war. Stayed home with Patroclus. I threw everything away. And sent so very many to this place.
What's done is done, sir. In my mind, you're the greatest warrior who ever lived. So is it glory you still seek, or is it Patroclus?
It isn't glory anymore, lad. I'm sure of that. Patroclus, however, I fear he's gone to me forever. Although his shade might yet reside within this realm, we left on terms I'd not forgive if I were him. Though, I had better get back to my post now, I think. I hope I didn't cast a greater pall over this place back there. I'm very thankful that we had this chance to get caught up. Now you had best be off. Take care out there.
I have to level with you, Zagreus. For all we've been through, never once have I wanted you to meet my sisters.
Can't imagine why not. We had a lovely time getting to know each other. We laughed, we cried. My only regret was that you couldn't be there yourself.
You don't know what you're saying. There's a reason that they're not permitted in the house. Though, come on. One of us is going back there now.
I'll just keep coming back.
To think Olympus has been aiding you. You must be so grateful to them for their aid, without which none of this would have been possible.
Yeah, about that. Father, did you let Mother go because you feared Olympus would find out? And not respond well to the circumstances if they did?
Be grateful they have not found out as yet for all your meddling. You do not know them as well as you think. Ask yourself why she left Olympus and how. Or better yet, ask her.
Well, she seems quite lovely, so knowing you, you probably tricked her into signing a pact to come join you or something. Since you weren't allowed on Olympus, why not have Olympus come to you?
Ha! Surprisingly not distant from the truth. I took her, boy. I took her down with me. Is that what you wish to hear? Does that anger you? Come, bring forth that anger then.
My son!
I'm-
I could not stand it on Olympus, Zagreus. The blustering, the posturing, my overbearing mother. None of it. I would have left the mountain voluntarily, except...
Except Father absconded with you, didn't he? Dragged you down with him into the underworld. So if Olympus were to find that out, I shudder to think of the consequences.
That fool is trying to protect me even now. It wasn't he who absconded with me, my son. And it's more complicated even than that. I was content to leave, willing to make my life within the underworld, with your father.
I dare not ask who did bring you to Father then. So essentially, you ran away from home to live with him. I mean no disrespect, but did you realize what you were getting yourself into?
We have a tendency to be impetuous when we are younger, Zagreus. I heard all about your father before we met. Admired paintings of him. It was very awkward at first, but he had a bluntness I fancied. A sense of principle. I much preferred him to his brothers, I can tell.
So, then you secretly left Mount Olympus to be with the god of the dead in the underworld, and Olympus never found out. What do you suppose would happen if they did?
I think there would be war between Olympus and your father, Zagreus, if they found out. Especially now, after all this. And after all this time. They slew their parents once. If the Titans could be wiped from this world, so can we all.
So it makes sense. If Father, he agrees with you and thinks that leaving you in hiding here, that it's the only way he can prevent that war.
I can see how your father, shrewd but also single-minded as he was, might have followed such a line of reasoning as that. Oh, Zagreus. What have I done?
No. What have I done? I can't. Oh, I need to fix this. Haven't you had enough?
So, boy, did you ask her? About how she came to join me in the underworld? Did you confirm all your suspicions then?
You didn't drag her down to hell yourself, apparently. You're not going to tell me who did, though I can well imagine. Your brothers got to reign forever on Olympus, while you got sent down into the underworld. So they gave you a consolation prize, didn't they?
You make such accusations knowing next to nothing. Careless as ever. Poseidon had nothing to do with it. He knows even less than you. If you value her existence or your own, it would be wise to keep it that way. And to turn back.
Zagreus.
Mother?
Zagreus. It's wonderful to see you, but I need to ask something of you. that you not visit me again here in this place. Both for your safety and for mine.
For what? Because of what would happen if the Olympians found out? So after everything, you're taking Father's side in all of this?
I am. The Father is no fool when it comes to matters such as this. Besides, all that has happened, it's my fault. I was selfish. And now both sides of our family threaten to be torn apart.
Your fault? So let's say you never left Olympus. Then it'd be just like you thought until quite recently, I think. That I'd never existed. Besides, they haven't found out any of this. What makes you so sure they will all of a sudden?
Nyx may be veiling you from them as she veiled me when I fled here myself. But even her own powers aren't infallible. Each time you visit me, you are incurring risk. One small slip, and they shall find me. Discover your deception. Go home, Zagreus. Please.
Go home with me, Mother. You came here under false pretenses. I haven't fought all this way over and over again only to turn back now. I need you in my life. How can you just turn me away like this?
Oh, Zagreus. I cannot return. After all that happened between Hades and me, and everyone, I just cannot fathom the idea. Besides, the risks we're taking would be even greater if Olympus were to find me there with him. And you.
Then, you're just going to stay here, alone in the middle of nowhere, in this little garden, forever. After we part ways, just like that.
My son, I know you've made hard choices and sacrifices to be here with me. And I'm forever grateful to have finally met you. This is my home now, yes. While your home is below. Please, if not for your sake, then for mine, do not return. I love you, Zagreus. Goodbye.
Mother, blast.
Goodbye.
She can't do this to me. Mother doesn't want to see me again. I mean, she asked me not to return. Thinks the risk is too great.
Oh. That is a fair enough assessment. What shall you do?
I'm going back.
Good.
I know that Nyx has been abetting you. You wish to take advantage of her pity? I care not. Her powers have their limits anyway.
How can you... Nyx is the night itself and can do as she pleases, isn't that correct, Father? You think I asked to get involved in all this business?
You, boy, have already dragged this entire household, not to mention my fool relatives, into this mess which you've created, which you dare call business.
Pleasure doing business, then.
Alright, I think we're gonna end this episode with this. I don't know how many conversations we'd have to do, but for now, this is enough. So if you enjoyed, you know what to do. Catch you all in the next episode.